Christian Horner isn't done with Formula One. After leaving Red Bull in one of the sport's most dramatic exits, he's preparing a comeback. But this time, it's not just about being a team boss. It's about ownership, power, and rewriting his legacy. Will he build a new empire, or will his relentless hunger to win every single battle finally catch up with him? Christian Horner's story in Formula One is one of ambition, charisma, controversy, and relentless drive. When he became Red Bull Racing's team principal in 2005, at just 31 years old, most of the paddock thought he was too young, too inexperienced, and too much of a showman to survive in the cutthroat world of F1 management. Red Bull was a newcomer, an energy drink company trying to play among titans like Ferrari, McLaren, and Williams. Horner, a former junior driver turned team manager at Arden in Formula 3000, was a surprise choice. But what followed silenced the doubters. Horner had vision. He lured Adrian Newey from McLaren, built an organization that valued creativity and aggression, and within 5 years he was holding both the Constructors and Drivers' Championships with Sebastian Vettel. 4 straight titles between 2010 and 2013 established Red Bull as the new powerhouse. Horner became a household name, the paddock's smooth-talking operator who always seemed one step ahead. And then, when the hybrid era arrived and Mercedes began their own reign of dominance, Horner adapted. He took the gamble on a fiery teenager named Max Verstappen, built around him, and when the car caught up, Red Bull unleashed another dynasty. By 2023, Verstappen and Horner were nearly unstoppable. But longevity in Formula One breeds tension. Horner's management style was not universally admired. He was known to be charming in public but ruthless behind closed doors, quick to spin narratives to the media, and often accused of playing politics as hard as he played strategy. His battles with Mercedes boss Toto Wolff became legendary. Each press conference a theater of subtle digs and sharp soundbites. Some loved it, others loathed it. Either way, Horner was impossible to ignore. And then came his exit from Red Bull. The details remain shrouded in whispers. Internal conflicts, shifting loyalties, corporate power struggles. But the end result was clear. The longest-serving team boss on the grid was out. For a moment, it looked like the curtain had fallen on one of Formula One's most enduring characters. But in truth, it was only an intermission. Horner's severance deal left him free for 2026. Perfectly timed with the next big regulatory reset. That wasn't an accident, that was strategy. So now the question hangs over the paddock. Where will Christian Horner go next, and in what role? Because this time, sources suggest he doesn't just want to be team principal again, he wants more. He wants ownership, equity, a seat at the table where the biggest decisions are made. After 2 decades of running Red Bull for someone else, Horner seems determined to own a piece of the empire he builds. The rumors are swirling. Haas admitted they had exploratory talks. Ayao Komatsu said Horner reached out, but nothing concrete followed. Alpine is considered a strong candidate, especially given Horner's long friendship with Flavio Briatore, who continues to have influence inside Renault's F1 arm. Aston Martin is another intriguing option, flush with Lawrence Stroll's investment, but still lacking that final spark to become champions. Horner could be the missing piece. And then there's the wild card, a brand new entry. In today's F1 landscape, launching a new team is harder than ever. The FIA's anti-dilution fee alone is $200 million, 0 cents, and that's before the hundreds of millions needed for facilities, staff, and development. But if anyone has the network to pull together investors, it's Horner. And here's where his personality becomes central, because Christian Horner isn't just competitive on Sundays. As Sky's Ted Kravitz said recently, Christian Horner is so intensely competitive, he even wanted to win out of every interview. It wasn't just a throwaway line, it was the truth. Horner treated media like a chessboard. Every question was an opportunity, every answer a power move. Kravitz recalled asking him about rookie Liam Lawson's performance. If high-level athletes, Horner gave a clipped, "We'll look at it," and ended the conversation. For Kravitz, the interview was over. For Horner, it was a victory. That relentless desire to control the message, to dominate not just races but narratives, defined his reign. It's also what made him polarizing. Rivals grew tired of the constant spin. Journalists found him fascinating but frustrating. Even inside Red Bull, his drive to win everywhere created friction. That competitiveness is what made him a champion, but it may also have contributed to his downfall. The big question now is whether he can evolve. Can Horner still lead with authority without alienating those around him? Can he channel his energy into building bridges as well as breaking rivals? Because make no mistake, ownership in Formula One isn't just about control, it's about diplomacy. Investors, corporate partners, manufacturers, they all want influence. If Horner joins Aston Martin, he'll have to coexist with Lawrence Stroll's iron grip. At Alpine, he'll be dealing with Renault's board and the politics of a state-backed manufacturer. If he starts fresh, he'll need to charm sponsors and regulators, balancing the books while building a competitive car. None of that can be solved with a sharp quip in a press conference. But then again, Horner has always thrived on the impossible. When Red Bull first joined F1, nobody believed an energy drink team could beat Ferrari or McLaren. Within 5 years, Horner proved them wrong. Why not again? 2026 brings new power unit rules, sustainable fuels, revised aero regulations, a perfect storm that will reset the competitive order. Audi is coming in through Sauber, Andretti and Cadillac are knocking on the door. Budgets and politics are shifting. Horner could ride that chaos, positioning himself not as an outsider, but as the man who understands how to bend the sport's chaos to his will. The psychological hunger is still there. Ted Kravitz's remark about interviews wasn't a joke, it was a diagnosis. Horner doesn't just enjoy winning, he needs it. In conversations, in negotiations, in perception. That hunger makes him dangerous. It also makes him compelling, because if Christian Horner returns to the pit wall in 2026, it won't be as a ceremonial figure. He'll be there to win. Titles, power, influence, the whole lot. So what might that look like? Imagine Alpine, long underperforming, suddenly energized under Horner's leadership, with Briatore whispering in the background, and Renault's resources finally unlocked. Picture Aston Martin, already armed with facilities and cash, guided by Horner's experience to match their ambition. Or envision a brand new entry, a clean slate, Horner pulling investors into his orbit, selling the dream of building the next Red Bull. The US universally normally have it. The US dream of building the next Red Bull. Each scenario would shake the sport. Each would reignite rivalries, and every single one would put Christian Horner back where he thrives, in the middle of the storm. Because one thing is certain, the paddock won't ignore him. Journalists will chase him, rivals will fear him, fans will debate him. If Christian Horner returns, Formula One regains one of its greatest protagonists. So the stage is set. Will Christian Horner rise again as the co-owner of Alpine, the strategist who transforms Aston Martin, or the mastermind behind a brand new team? Or will his endless need to win every interview, every negotiation, every battle finally be the flaw that undoes him? One thing is sure, when Horner comes back in 2026, Formula One will never be the same again.